I want to give massive thanks to all of my supporting members and patrons. Thank you all so very much. Hello, good evening to you all. Welcome. And I see we've got 29 right at the start. Brilliant stuff. Hope you noticed, because I did put a pinned chat. Hope you noticed the patron reel is now patron members. Yeah, I finally worked out with YouTube how to get a list of, sorry, I just got to tinker with the sound a bit. Finally worked out how to get a list of the members as well as the patrons. I think it's something quite, what the hell is up with this? Hello. Ah, that's better. Yeah, I finally managed to work out how to do it. I think because they've had a bit of a tinker with the members area in studio, I think they finally realised that there was no way for us to get a list of members. Now we got one, so I've got my list of members. You can also see them down at the bottom. All the members, all the patrons, and on the reels, those who are both members and patrons get highlighted. Why not? So, thank you very much for coming. Who have we got? I saw Now Opinions done a little Mr. Arnold emoji, which is one of the things you can do as a member. Thank you now. We got Dora and Koo. Good timing. A 2-hour stream to keep company while I babysit my printer doing a test. And Charlie Welch, hello to you. Skits Crusher, Roll VT. Skits Crusher is a new name to me, but you're obviously watching my stuff with a Roll VT, so welcome. Unless you've been here before and I've just not noticed, in which case, my deepest apologies. But of course we get a lot of names. Brian Pop Robson, Demon Orb, Marek is in there. We got Ranty. Ranty is in the house. Hello Ranty. Brainless Steel NL. There was Dora again. Martin H. Hello. Going back, Matt Powell. Unofficial. Welcome Matt. Some Old Dude. Hello Some Old Dude. And let's scroll back a little bit. I think we'll get to top. Mr. Jones 72 is there. And Aaron Kerr. And I think Mr. X, Mr. Y was in there. I think I've pretty much covered anyway. I think that's about as far as my scrolling's going to go. Anyway, hope you've all had a good time. It's actually been just over a week since a live stream, I think. Goes quick. Really quick. Quick heads up. Up there. 1 minute debunks. 1 minute debunks 4 by the end of November. If you want to have a crack at that, just do it. It's just for fun. It's not judging anyone's quality of video, filming, editing, sound, or anything. It's just a 60-second debunk video that gets to be shown on the channel in a 1 minute debunk 4 show, sometime shortly before Christmas. It's fun. I was going to say, I've done 3 before. Big hint is that this is number 4. Yeah, always good laugh. We've had some really interesting stuff, different takes on debunking things, and of course, who can forget, he says, forgetting Flow Rider. Who can forget Flow Rider's most excellent flat earth debunking evidence that was presented live on this channel in a 1 minute debunk video of toe tanks. Spot on, Flo. First time I'd ever heard of it, and I'd never seen any other debunkers use it. I've seen them use it since. So that was a cracking job. So why not have a go? You don't have to have a fancy camera, no lighting, no microphones, whatever. Just use your phone. Strict rules are 60 seconds only. No politics, no COVID, no hate speech, which I know you guys wouldn't do anyway, but I had to say it. All you got to do is drop me a line. It can be email, it can be DM, whatever, and we'll sort out a method of you getting it to me. Whether it's, if you've got a channel, then we can upload it unlisted. If you haven't, we can transfer it to me. We'll get hold of it. I wanted this to be by the end of November to give me a chance to pull the show together, because it's quite a bit of editing and stuff prior to the stream going out sometime mid to late December, I suppose, something like that. Something fun before Christmas. And I see I've got a couple of messages from Mr. 42. He's in my Discord. I think he's trying to steal it. That guy has stolen everything. Absolutely everything. So mind your wallets, guys. Mr. 42 is in the house. Oh, Brainy Beaver, hello there. What's this? I thought we were YouTube monogamous skit. I'm obviously missing something there. Oh, Brainy Beaver's typed like a good one in there. David Oliver. A nice beaver is a wet beaver. A happy beaver is a wet beaver. Oh yes, Now Opinion likes the one where someone proved the globe with an orange. Who was that? Don't remember. Yeah, give it a crack. We've had people doing things with Lego. I think that was Andreas Elt. Yeah, Mr. Now Opinion with an orange. That'd be nice to see Little Miss Now do a video now. Now, if you see what I mean, now. I think I'll change the subject. Give it a crack. It's great fun. We want a whole bunch of people. I forget how many we had last time. Let's go for more. Whatever it was, let's go for more. And as well as the 1 minute live show, which I have guests on, we're talking, we're playing the videos, we'll do a concatenated show where we just show all the 1 minute debunks back to back. And of course, if you submit a video, you get a link to the channel in the description of both the live stream and the concatenated version. So hopefully it's some exposure for you guys if you have a channel. But if you haven't, that's fine too. Right, what's been going on? Well, Mr. Matt Powell has been going on. I dealt with his derp a couple of days ago, all his Grand Canyon stuff. They've got a thing about the Grand Canyon lately, haven't they? Because Mr. Hovind did one about the Grand Canyon saying it was made in a week. Yeah. If you get a whole load of water and pour it over a muddy area, a steep muddy area, so it runs down and cuts channels, it will tend to cut a straightish channel. It won't cut a channel with all those curves and twists and bends and whatever. No, it doesn't work, Kent. It really doesn't. But then, what do you know about work? Mailbags, maybe? Sewing mailbags? I suppose it could be, couldn't it? That's work, Mr. Hovind. Oh, Flurspective says, can you punt me out a bit, Mr. Sensible? Well, I could, Flurspective. I could. Say no more. I could. Or, if you're available, you can jump on the stream and punt yourself out. You're welcome to. But maybe you haven't got a mic. I don't know. That's fine, pal. That's fine. If you're unable to, don't want to, that's absolutely fine. But yes, for those who don't know, whoever that one is, because I should think everyone knows, Mr. Flurspective was also known previously as Ranty the Flat Earther, and he turned from the dark side of the plane, and is now on the globe side of the plane. Cracking job. Brought forth with discussions, and I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but by the excellent conspiracy cats who spent time with Ranty, and Ranty then came to the conclusion that the Earth is not flat after all, because Ranty was honest enough to study the evidence, understand the evidence, draw conclusions from the evidence, and change his position, which is exactly what you should do. And it's exactly what 99.99% of the flat earthers do not do. They put their fingers in their ears and shout, nah, I'm not listening. Not Ranty, though. So yes, please check out Ranty's channel. If one of the mods could chuck a link to it in the side chat, that would be great. Just having a check on stuff. Yeah, that would be great. If someone could chuck a... Oh, yes, for anyone silly enough not to have already subbed, Ranty is that, and there's the link. Thank you, Martin H. and Colon as well. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so I had a bit of fun and games with Matt Powell. I'd love to debate him, but he won't even listen to me. I made one comment which wasn't rude, just questioning something on one of his videos quite some time back. Bang, banned. That was it. Yeah, that's honest, isn't it, Matt? Mr. Powell. Mr. Official. So, Mr. Matt Powell, if you happen to be watching, please drop me a line. I'd be up for a debate. I won't be rude. I don't do anything more than a bit teasing. In videos. I think if we had a debate, it would be a straight debate. So, Yeah, I'd like that. If anyone happens to go on Mr. Powell's channel or his Askbook or Twitter, if he's got those, then please just mention that I'd be up for a polite debate. I'd like that. And what else have we had going on? We've had Mr. Mitchell from Australia. I hope you enjoyed the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Fallacy video. Boy, did I enjoy putting that intro together. Absolutely cracking fun. And yeah, that was all after I fished him about triangulation stroke trilateration, which of course he knew nothing about before I did my video, after I had him hooked. And then of course after that he mentioned trilateration, and actually Mr. Nathan Oakley has, while insulting me. I think I hit a nerve there. But a couple of days ago I thought I should fish him again. Surely he's not so stupid to fall for it a second time. I mean, when I cast that baited hook saying if you're navigating, if you're doing celestial navigation with a sextant, you don't triangulate your position, you would have thought that anyone bright enough would have thought, hold on, is he trying to trick me? Is there something I'm missing? Is there something I should research so I don't look like a fool? But there was nothing he did. He didn't do any research. He was too silly to realise he was being hooked, and he went for it. So I cast another hook, didn't I? Oh yes, another hook to bait Mr. Mitchell from Australia. I nearly forgot his name then. This new hook was telling him, because they're always going on about, oh, with a sextant, how could you get a straight line to the horizon because of refraction and bendy bits and stuff like that. So I told him that with a sextant, you don't need to see the horizon, and that you don't need to do dip correction. But did he look into it? Did he research it before looking stupid? Oh no, he didn't look into it. He didn't research it. And he's going to look silly again. This Friday, I hope to have the second one in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Fallacy series. A trilogy so far in 2 parts. Where we land him again, we gut him again, and perhaps this time we could have him fried. I think if anyone's good at gutting fish and deheading them, we'll then fry him, because his goose is cooked. Oh yes, so that'll be a lot of fun. So Friday, not sure of the time yet, there will be a live premiere, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Fallacy Part 2, followed by a live stream, I believe. I thought it might be fun to do a live after show, a live after prem, because there's a lot to be giggled at. Definitely a lot to be giggled at. Yes, we're all trying to forget his name. He keeps getting Mitch made. Absolutely he does. Let's have a read back at a couple of messages. Mitch is very forgettable. Mitch, what was I saying? I can't remember. Matt Powell, unofficial, not the official. We don't want Matt Powell official in here unless he's willing to do a debate, but Mr. Matt Powell unofficial is always welcome, of course. Scrolling back, Curbitize, I've asked Powell for a debate myself, as well as mentioning if he'd debate you. Also got ignored. Yeah, that's a pussy thing. If he turned around and said, look, sorry, I'm not interested in doing a debate because I don't like you, or I think you're rude, or I don't think you know what you're talking about, fair enough. I think it's a bit feeble, but fair enough. But to just ignore it and then delete messages so other people can't see he's being challenged to a debate is very weak. Very, very weak. Oh, I've just had a super sticker from April Van Ryn. Thank you, April, for 3 gorgeous, shiny Canadian dollars. At least I'm assuming that's what dollar is. I'm pretty sure it is, isn't it, April? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Really do. What was I going to say? Rats, what was it? Sorry, I've got some notes on I tend to scribble up notes on my whiteboard. It's all on a big board. You'll see the big board, Mr. President. What film? What film is that? Yeah. And that's really distracted me. I don't know what I was talking about. So, make them listen to some Vogonic prose. Well, H. Jasper E., if you're lucky there may well be some poetry in the Mitch Hiker's Guide to the Fallacy Part 2. And if you're unlucky, you'll just get thrown off the spaceship. Okay? So fingers crossed. Or is that the other way round? I think it's the other way round. Yeah, definitely. But Mitch is definitely triggered, because I think I've had a timestamp link, sent by 2 people to me, very kindly, thank you, of Mitch's latest. And he's got me in there. I am living in his head rent-free. He doesn't like it. So I did comment, and I said, I'm living in your head rent-free. Nice view of the cherry orchards. Unfortunately, someone's already picked all the cherries. Gary Little's fish comes from a restaurant. You don't really want to cook all fish like that, Mr. S. Well, Brainy, I'm happy we can griddle it. I don't know. Any means of cooking is fish is welcome. Black swan would be good grilled into duck bits, then fry with some cream and mushroom soup. You make it into a gravy as it browns, pour it onto mashed potatoes. Cooking by Brainy Beaver. Thank you for that. All the President's Men, Mr. Jones 72? No, not all the President's Men. Yes. Scrolling back, Ace Fox 1 got it. Dr. Strangelove. That was... Oh, gosh. I can't remember the name of the guy. I'll think of it in a second. Saying to the President that he couldn't let the Russian ambassador into the war room. Because you've seen the big board. You've seen the big board, Mr. President. Of course, they ended up fighting. And the President said, you can't fight in here, gentlemen. This is the war room. Excellent film. Strange film, but excellent film. If you've never seen it, give it a try. I recommend it. And it's got one of my favourite guys in it, that actor Slim Pickens. What an excellent name, Slim Pickens. Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove. Yeah, a few of you got it. That was Brian. I'm not sure who else. April Van Ryan was distracted by giving you money. Oh, shiny. What else is going on? Mitch Sushi. Now there's an idea. Definitely. Yeah. Oh, Ace Fox, you're a fan, aren't you? If a pilot's really good, he can barrel that baby and load. Oh, brilliant film. Brilliant. And I'm trying to think of his name, because you had Colonel Bat Guano, General Jack the Ripper, but I can't remember that guy's name. Something Scott, George C. Scott. Was it? I can't remember his character's name. Slim rides the bomb. He definitely does, Gary. What was it? Hi there. I can't remember what the other bomb was called. One was something John. Something John and Hi there. Slim is also Mr. Taggart. Yes, he is Mr. Taggart, definitely. In Blazing Saddles. That's the geezer. Yeah. Yeah, the survival kit contents. Shoot! You could have a pretty damn good weekend in Vegas with that lot. And I've had a super chat. Thank you, Mr. Brainy Beaver, 2 Canadian. That was a real wild duck recipe. Delicious. Try it. I'm afraid we don't have any wild ducks around here, Brainy. There's some that are quite livid, but none are wild. Where did that come from? Yet another film. Wild? Absolutely livid. Oh, Blackadder. It was Blackadder. Hello, Alien X Gaming. Alien X Gaming, I don't know if you are, but Alien X Gaming had been interviewing different debunkers and other people, and he did a video on me. That was going back a little while, wasn't it, Alien X? So if anyone wants to see it, check Alien X's back catalogue and maybe have a poke around his channel, maybe a few likes, and you never know, a subscribe or two. Which reminds me, let me just check. I'm getting awful darn close to 12k. 5 off it. If anyone's got any mother-in-laws or great Aunt Susans kicking around, can you drag them in and get them to subscribe? And let's try and hit that 12k tonight, live. That would be nice. Very, very nice. Oh, we like that, don't we, my love? Yeah, we like that. Oh, Mr. Arnold's sat here. He's going to sleep, though, I'm afraid. I daren't disturb him. Last time I started the stream with Arnold on camera, but he wasn't happy waiting while the intro ran. I'm surprised he didn't bite my head off. Oh, we got another super chat from April Van Ryan, 5 Canadian again. That Matt Powell episode hurt my lack of soul. Oh, God. I mean, it's just I mean, you look at him, I suppose, like all these, these TV evangelists, that sort of look. Very, very clean-cut American good boy next door type thing, apple pie and all that sort of thing. But he's so bloody smarmy, so wrong. And not only wrong, because it's okay to be wrong, he refuses to look at what right is and totally and willfully ignores the evidence while plundering people's pockets. Yes. And I do wonder how he's going to get on living in Mr. Hovin's backyard. He's not really setting himself up for a good future there, especially if you've ever done any poking around finding out about Kent Hovind, some of the background stories. It's quite worrying, the things that go on. It's not really a good situation to be in at all, and he's there with his wife and kids as well. So seriously, Mr. Matt Powell, again, if you happen to be listening, please, for your own sake, for your wife's sake, for your children's sake, think very carefully and perhaps consider moving away. Even if you don't change anything else about yourself, I would look after yourself, your wife and your family, and move out from Dinosaur Adventureland. Yeah. Quite worrying. Oh, we got Astronomy Live in here. They're all coming in. Oh, and Mr. Some Old Dude. Mr. Some Old Dude, super chatted $5 US. Thank you, Some Old Dude. Matt Powell has such a confident attitude when he's so off. It's painful to watch. Absolutely. Is it Dunning-Kruger when they know they're wrong, but just lying? It's certainly Dunning-Kruger when someone sits there all puffed up, saying, "Look at me, aren't I right? Aren't I wonderful?" When everyone else is staring at them, pointing out the total lack of emperor's clothes. The real Dunning-Kruger effect. But what if that person is willfully lying? I don't think that's Dunning-Kruger. Sorry, Matt has kids. Sorry, Mr. X, Mr. Y. To be honest, I'm not sure. I thought I read that he had. It could be wrong. If he hasn't, fair enough. But he should still look out for his wife, shouldn't he? But that's an interesting question. Oh, Multi-Tom-Tom. Multi-Tom-Tom's here. Multi-Tom-Tom, I've got a big favour for you. You need to super chat me, Multi-Tom-Tom. You need to super chat me more than enough for a Mars bar. Only Mr. Tom-Tom will know what that's about. So I'll look forward to your super chat, Tom-Tom. I'll give you a shout out. We'll shout out your channel when I get your super chat, Tom-Tom. And I'm still waiting. I can't believe it. This is now, I think next month, 2 years since you said that you're going to do an undebunkable flat earth video for me to not be able to debunk. I haven't found it. And in fact, now I've not seen you do any videos, I don't think, since your The Sun is Hot video. Something like that. Anyway, yeah, Astronomy Live is in here. I want to say a big welcome to Astronomy Live. Need to check out Astronomy Live's channel. Some excellent stuff on there. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Andrew Cunningham thinks it's about power over other people for those scumbags. Power? I think you're right. That's definitely part of it. Wanting to be the centre of attention, maybe, yeah. But it's definitely also the money. Oh, yes, the money. Oh, I missed a super chat. Mr. Super Chat. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to refresh my list of super chats. I have been trying to watch them as carefully as I can. I'm having to watch the side chat really carefully because super chats I can call up a list. That's great. It's a bit of a pain in the backside because it doesn't appear in my broadcast software. But those members who get their monthly free super chat. Oh no, I've caught Matt Powell. Super chat. Oh yes. Evolution. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, those members who get their monthly free super chat, it will appear lit up in the side chat, of course, which is excellent. Unfortunately, YouTube has seen fit, because it's not a paid for super chat, not to put it in the list of purchased super chats, which I suppose there's a certain amount of logic to it, but that's not very helpful when you want to list the super chats. Get it right, YouTube. So, yes, Mr. Now Pinion, super chatted, thank you now. 55 krona Swedish. Saying, Me and Little Miss now have lots of ideas for the 1 Minute Debunk show. But now it's too late. I can barely type. Need sleep. Good night. Okay, well, now, thank you very much for joining us. Please, a big hi to Little Miss now. And yeah, I'd love to see you guys do 1 Minute Debunks. I'd love to see a 1 Minute Debunk just of Little Miss now if she's up to it as well. Whatever. But yeah, like an entry from you. A submission. Sorry, it's not an entry. It's not competition. Like a submission from you guys. Yeah. So who else we got? Yes, so you've had some good nights there. The year has 364 days. Quote from JM Truth. Oh man, Mr. Ottopants, I never heard him say that. Oh, Dal has an offer, 2 for 1 on kids. You take 2 kids and only take 1 back out again. Yeah. Matt Powell seems to be buying subs, exposed by Mr. Jones 72. See his community page. Wow. What's all that about then? First I've heard of that. Now, I do see that I have in my live waiting room none other than Flat Earther X, who was Ranty, now known as Flurspective. So I'll give him a second just to get himself ready, and I'll draw him into the live broadcast room from the live waiting room. Something's funny with my... What's going on here then? Oh no! What have I done? Minimise. Right. Yeah, that's better. Strange. When things go wrong, it does really throw you. I understand that Flat Earth had technical problems on his previous debate, I think, and then the Flat Earth didn't turn up anyway. Yeah, technical problems are always awkward, horrible. So let's get him in, because this will be the first time I've spoken to him. Hello, good evening, Ranty.
Good evening, Mr. Sensible. How in the world are you?
I am very, very fine, thank you. You sound quiet to me, although on the sound bar you look okay. Try again.
Good evening, Mr. Sensible. How in the world are you?
Yeah, I think it's just my headphones. I'll turn them up a bit. I am fine. And I think this is actually the first time we've spoken. Is that correct?
I think we have conversed in chat, but we haven't actually spoken one-to-one. So yes, you would be correct.
Well, I'm very happy to. I mean, I've asked you a few times, and I know things come up or life, and perhaps you just got spending half an hour before going to bed or whatever, and that's fine. But I'm glad you've come in. It's good to talk to you, and I'm going to take this opportunity just to tell everyone about something that happened when you were still a flat earther. At least I think you were. When did you sort of switch sides? When was that roughly?
Oh, goodness me. I saw the image in February. Probably by, I don't know, sometime in mid to late February, I was pretty convinced that I might have got it wrong, but I didn't come out officially until I believe it was like the first or second week of April.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Last November, so just coming up a year ago, those who've been sort of following the channel for a long time will probably know. Around that time, my mum, who was very elderly, ended up in a care home and was extremely, extremely unwell. And I was doing a live stream, and Mr. Ranty Flat Earth, who was a flat earther, our sworn enemy, do you know what he did, guys? He super chatted me £15 to have a bottle of wine to toast her. And I was so grateful for that, Ranty. I really was. I want you to know that, so thank you for that. That really did mean a lot to me, obviously, as I haven't forgotten about it.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you.
I was going through with my mum as well, and my mum was, she wasn't long before she passed. She passed on the 11th of December. So it wasn't long after your mum, and I know when somebody's going through that, and when they're looking after the parent, and then you can see somebody like that, it's what you need. You need that little bit of somebody to just reach out and say, hey, we can be enemies in our beliefs, but it doesn't mean we have to be twats in real life. And
absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, I've said it. Thank you. It meant a lot to me. So how's things going? How's your channel going?
Oh, the channel's going fine. It's kind of stagnated for a time. I mean, I haven't really moved up a lot in any kind of subscribers, but the interaction is pretty good. I mean, most of
Yeah,
my videos tend to get, for my subscriber count, I can get anywhere from, well, I've got 5,200 subscribers, so I can get anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 views on the video. So that to me is pretty good, and the interaction is good, and the thumbs up is good. I think everyone kind of likes it. So I think they like the inside information from the perspective of somebody that used to be in the
yeah.
cult of flat Earth, and also what kind of led me into flat Earth, what led others into it, and then also the funny stuff as well, because I am quite funny, so I'm told. So, uh, so when I'm allowed to unleash that side of me, I do. I don't take any prisoners with the flirts. So
Good for you.
it's kind of like you get what you get on the day. It could be one day that you'll get a video that's really funny and you're laughing your socks off, and the next could be a video that's just, this is what it's like inside the flirt community. So nobody really knows what they're getting.
Well, I can't remember what level of subs you had when you were flat earther, and I think you gave your channel away to Brandon, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a similar amount of subscribers as I do now, so
Oh
it's
right.
over 5,000 subscribers.
Because I would expect, obviously, leaving one side to move to the other, basically it's going to wipe out your subscriber count, and you're going to pretty much have to start from scratch again.
Yes, yeah, I mean that's essentially what it was. I mean, for the first few months, let's say the first 2 months, I think the vast majority of the flirts thought I was playing a role, because they were
Yeah.
so convinced that I wasn't a globe earther now. I mean, to be honest, I mean, why wouldn't you? Because I've been in the community for 5 years. I was, I was synonymous with flat Earth. I mean,
Yeah.
I might not have had the subscribers, but I was everywhere.
Well,
Everyone's
I
knew.
mean, certainly Conspiracy Cats featured you quite a few times, didn't he? So,
Indeed.
yeah, because of that, you're going to be well known. Can I just say, I've had a super chat from Skits Crasher. Happy 12k. Apparently, I have just hit 12,000 subscribers. Well, actually, on Studio it says 11,999. But what's one? But
Oh, I unsubbed. Sorry. Do you want me
thank you very much for the super chat, Skits Crasher, and thank you to all my 11,999 or 12,000 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I would also say I've Mr. Matt Powell, unofficial, who's been a member for 7 months, has just had one of his free member super chats saying we need more people in the world like Ranty. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I think that's absolutely right, because you were open to the evidence. Oh, and another super chat from Dora and Koof, €2 saying 12k, congrats. Thank you very much, Dora. Big smile. Yeah, open, honest to look at the evidence. And you change your position based on the evidence, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. As when you go down the rabbit hole, you get conditioned to believe in any kind of nonsense that's put out there, and this conspiracy leads on to this conspiracy, and there's always a secret hand behind everything. And as you end up going down the rabbit hole, you get invested into the next conspiracy.
Yeah.
And as every conspiracy gets unleashed upon you, whether it's a tragedy that's happened, whether it's a shooting, whether it's some kind of war that's going on off in a different country, where the secret hand have manipulated this to happen. Every kind of thing is like a story leading up to flat Earth, and it's this it's this brainwashing that goes on.
Yeah.
It absolutely is brainwashing, and you do get convinced. Absolutely, you actually start to believe more in the before you believe in flat Earth. You end up believing in the hidden hand and the secret societies and the people that are running the world and all this stuff that's going on. And this is how they get you into it. So you start believing in all that, and then everything that a moderately large channel, let's say anything over a few thousand subscribers, puts a video out and they say that this incident was absolutely coordinated by this group of individuals that was working for the hidden hand, etc., etc., etc. And you believe it, and then they say that everything's faked and they manipulate evidence, and you believe it, and but once you're in that conspiratorial mindset, you don't look for the alternative evidence, so you just accept what you're presented with.
And
And
that's also an element of religious cults. You start isolating people from other people. No, don't listen to them because all you'll get is lies. Only listen to us. So if all
yeah,
you're getting is the quote evidence from the conspiracy side, why wouldn't you start to believe it if that's all you're getting? I do want to say, Next Pro is my 12,000th subscriber. So thank you very much, Next Pro. Welcome to the channel. And Multi Tom Tom says, Mr. S, have you ever bought subs? Well, I could do. I haven't so far, Multi Tom Tom. What's your price? 50p? 50p? No, Tom Tom. I've never bought a sub. My channel is worth too much to me to risk my channel buying subs. And I presume you never did either, Ranty.
no, funnily enough. In fact, I didn't even expect to be in this situation. I'll be quite honest with you. When I released that video on Conspiracy Cat's channel,
Yeah.
I actually thought, hand on heart, that all my subscribers would view it. Right? That's how I feel. That's how I felt. I felt that even though I had come out as a globe earther, and I actually spoke to, this is another thing, I spoke to Brandon, and I said to him, I need time to put a video out to my subscribers. Can you hold off on releasing me from the ability to release a video on this channel that I gave
Sure.
to you for a certain amount of time so that I can actually produce this video? He said yes. And that time went and passed. It was like a few days. It was like 3 or 4 days, and I hadn't had time to produce a video. And then I got the email through saying you have now been removed from the channel as being an owner of the channel, so you can no longer post any videos on there. So I wasn't able to tell my subscribers why I had changed. I was part way through making it, but I hadn't had time to finish it. But because I'd told them a certain day, like by Wednesday, I'd have this video out. And then he just removed me from the channel. He didn't even speak to me. Didn't even tell me that he'd done this.
When you just given him a channel preloaded with about 5,000 subs.
Yes.
Nice,
yeah.
eh? Nice.
Yeah, it was. I was absolutely shocked by that.
Have you ever challenged him on that?
No. I just thought, you know what?
It's not worth it.
Not worth it.
No,
not worth it.
No, I understand.
But what I did expect it though was that the flat earthers would have a reasonable look at it, like, okay, well, why the hell has Ranty changed sides? I need to see this evidence.
It must be pretty damn good, this evidence.
But nobody seemed to watch it. It was like I would be talking to people that I knew and going into other Discord servers and asking them, have you seen this video? Have you seen it yet? Have you seen it yet? No. And then I'd say, right, well, I'll tell you what, go and watch it. And next time we see each other, I'll ask you about it. And then a week or two would pass and I'd bump into them again and I'd say, did you watch the video? No. And this is what it was. They refused to watch it. And this is what I was getting. They didn't want to watch the video that debunked their beliefs. They didn't even want to see it.
And that's so dishonest.
Refused to watch it.
I mean,
it's
I was going to say, I would hope that, let's say someone like Conspiracy Cat suddenly changed the other side and released a video. I would want to watch it to find out what the hell convinced him to change sides. And if I was a flat earther, I'd have wanted to watch that to find out exactly why you had, switched. It's nuts. It just shows the mindset of la la la, I'm not listening. As someone said in the chat, confirmation bias. That's all they're interested in.
I think if I'd ever the chance to study the flat earthers before I became a flat earther, I might have already understand, that they weren't prepared to look at other, alternative evidence, right? Well, I was in such a position where I actually thought that my voice mattered, that I actually had an opinion that was worth listening to. And I knew that when I was in the flat earth community, people listened. But the minute I changed to the globe earth and produced evidence that showed it was a globe, nobody wanted to know. All that goodwill that I'd built up for 5 years, Nobody was interested in it. Nobody wanted to know why I'd left. Nobody wanted to know what the evidence was. Nobody even wanted to watch the video.
Can I
It
ask you?
was like you know, like when you get your two fingers and you make the cross sign, like to the vampire.
Yeah,
It was just like that.
yeah.
You know,
But
stay away from me.
I was going to ask Ranty, without naming any names, if there are any names, because I'm really am not prying. Have any of them sort of carried on being friendly to you, even though they now are your sworn enemy? But are they still friendly on a personal level? Any of them, or they just
I
not
haven't
got contact with them?
I haven't had any individual contact with any of them except for Bob from Glowbusters contacted me about I don't know, let's say a week after I put the video out. And then he went into this rant about Christians and how I was betraying God and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't even know he was religious.
Yeah.
And he literally lost his shit over that. And he sent me this rambling, wasn't even one paragraph, it was about 10 paragraphs. You know, it was just really bad. And I was like, holy shit, you know, and that was it. That's the
Yeah.
only contact I've had with anybody. Nobody's bothered. You know, it's like they've just pretended that I haven't even been there. You know, like they're erasing me from existence.
I have actually. I didn't see it when I looked at the super chats before. April Van Ryn had super chatted following Multi Tom Tom asking about buying subs. She super chatted $5 Canadian saying, for Tom Tom, because I want this to escalate. April, you're a bad lady. There you go, Tom Tom, you're bought and paid for, pal. You're mine. Oh dear. Well, I mean, I think that's quite sad because I'm sure before all this came up that you had friends and relationships with other people in that community, people that you liked,
yeah.
people who I presume you respected and you thought liked and respected you. So that's quite hard, really. It really is.
Well, the thing is, and this is a thing in real life. You have your genuine friends and then you have your fake friends. So you'll have your good weather friend, fair weather friends, and you know things like that. And this has been a real eye opener to me. This interaction with the Flirth community because I actually thought genuinely what had happened was I'd lost contact with my real life friends. So my only friends became my online friends, and my only online friends were flat earthers. So in my mind and in my heart and head and everything else that was going along, it was the flat earthers were my friends or my best friends, let's say. Even you could even go as far as saying that. And the minute I changed positions and became became a globe earther, you know, all that friendship and goodwill and conversations we'd had over the years about all kinds of things, that just dissipated. It went. You know, and nobody reached out. And that told me that, you know what, they were never friends in the first place.
Well,
they were only interested in, you know, some kind of confirmation bias. And, you know, as soon as you leave that cult, they disavow you, you know.
Yeah. There's a question asked, and it's being asked without being nasty. This guy's honestly interested, he says. But, of course, if you don't want to answer a question, please don't. Mandev was asked this. How does Ranty feel knowing that he might have dragged people into Flat Earth who are still trapped there? That's a tough question, you know.
Well, not really.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
I answered that at least a couple of times on different videos of mine.
Yeah.
Where I actually talk about that, and I actually say, you know, I feel the reason that I'm here now is to make up for the crap that I caused whilst being a flat earther, because I have to accept that the stuff I did as a flat earther probably did convert quite a few people.
Yeah.
And I know that because there are people that have converted and done videos converting back to the globe based upon myself coming back to the globe too. But they also released a video saying that the reason they got into Flat Earth was because of me.
But they've come back out.
They've come back out because of me again. So that meant that I trapped them for 5 years and then released them, for, you know. But that means that there's also probably a few thousand other people that also were convinced by my arguments, which were all to do with optics. And I didn't deny the fact that the globe had an argument. That's the one thing that's different between me and the other flat earthers that are out there currently saying that, like the black swan image, at
Yeah.
least I accepted that the black swan image had an argument from the globe with refraction. I even, I made no bones about it, that I accepted the argument from the globe. I just wanted to offer a counter argument for flat earth, something that would be on a level playing field if I could. And I tried to make it that way. I never denied the globe argument, which is different to the other flat earthers out there currently. So, but my arguments were quite strong because I had a lot of visual evidence that backs up some of my claims. Wrong, of course, but equally were very hard to debunk from from the globe perspective.
Well, what I would say is that they may well have been wrong, Ranty, but they were obviously done from an honest position. You felt that this was the case. You produced your argument. You produced your video based on your argument. That's fine. No, I don't think anyone would have an issue with that. And obviously now knowing that based on evidence you've subsequently seen, you have revised your position. All credit to you. Any one of us could be wrong about something based on the evidence that we've seen so far, or our understanding or lack of understanding on certain aspects of evidence. It's what you do when you're presented with evidence to the contrary. Do you think carefully and revise your position, even if it's just a bit? Do you think carefully and think, right, well, I need to come up with some counters to that, because that does make me question? Or do you just stick your fingers in your ear and say, la, 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 you're a liar, it's NASA, and whatever? Obviously, you're not that sort. So I would say that, without wishing to be rude, your stuff was wrong. But it was done from an honest position, and I wouldn't hold that against you in any way, shape, or form, because you have demonstrated yourself to be honest. I have got a couple of super chats to read out. David Oliver super chatted £5. Apparently, Mr. Anthony Riley is getting angry because Bob Nadell is showing evidence of globe. Lol. And there's one by some old dude, also for £5, but this is £5 of the US dollars, saying, in a cult, it is important to shun communications with members who have left, aka Scientology, Jehovah's Witness, etc. Absolutely. I don't know so much about Jehovah's Witnesses, but I used to do a lot of reading up about Scientology. I forgot what they call them. Disconnection, I think they call it. Yeah, if you've got a group that you're trying to control, you don't want anyone talking to the outside, and if someone leaves the group, you've got to cut off connection with them before they infect any others in the group. So I guess that's why a lot of your friends just suddenly disappeared and stopped calling, Ranty.
Well, yeah. I mean, I used to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses, so
Did you? Did you? Okay.
Indeed, I did. Yeah.
Two things, Ranty. Right. I'm not a religious person, but I have no problem with people being religious. And for those who how do I put this tactfully? For those who get annoyed when Jehovah's Witnesses come around, I actually have the perfect solution to deal with it. Have Jehovah's Witnesses live right next door, because the one house they never come to is their neighbours. Actually, they're nice people. I have no problem with them. And actually, David Oliver's super chatted again. Thank you, David, £5, saying, sorry, Bob Nadell is showing globe evidence to Rachie 50, and Riley is getting angry over it. Rachie 50. Okay. Have you had any dealings with Rachie?
I have. But there's a lot of questions that have been asked, and I want to try and remember them in order. So let's go back a bit. When you were saying about the doing it from an honest position,
yes.
My observations, absolutely true. And what my observations proved more than anything was that refraction was a real thing. Yep. So I would go down to the beach, and more often than not, from a low elevation, see far, far further than I should do on the geometric globe, right? And that was my position, and I had all these documented proofs of those, which the flat earthers latched onto, obviously. And then this image from Blackpool popped up, which showed clearly that we cannot be living locally, at least on a flat plane. It had to be on a globe, which then obviously demonstrated that when I was at these really low levels down at Blackpool on the beach, seeing these 18-mile buildings away, that was strong refraction. but from the overall picture of things, it was a globe.
Yeah.
So it actually, it in effect, I actually, from a standpoint of proof for the globe, it actually did validate, all my evidence is actually proof of standard refraction, which I think um, is obviously going to be used going forward in some of my videos for sure, because it demonstrates that you know, this is a real phenomena that you when you go down to the beach and you see further than you should, that's normal. That is standard refraction, or in sometimes greater than standard refraction, right? But it's been documented by me for 5 years. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you can't get better than that. So it's all out there. You've just
Well,
got to interpret it the right way.
well sorry, just to quickly jump back a tiny bit to something we were just discussing a moment ago. Someone whose name I can't read said it's called Shun. No, talking about
Shun, yeah.
this cutting off of people. I don't know if that's what it's called with
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witnesses, but I have just checked. Scientology, it's called disconnection. It's the same thing. It is the same thing anyway.
Well, yeah. I mean, from the idea of the Jehovah's Witness, right? So
Yeah.
if you were talking about Jehovah's Witnesses, you would say Jehovah's Witnesses. And one of my real peeves is people that say I was a Jehovah's Witness, right? Because that really irks me the wrong way, because they clearly don't understand the ideology behind that religion, right? Because you are not a Jehovah's Witness. You are one of Jehovah's Witnesses, right? There's a big difference,
Yeah.
right? So being accepted into that group, you then become one of Jehovah's Witnesses. You are a witness to God. You are not one of Jehovah's Witnesses. You are not a Jehovah's Witness. So anybody that says, "Oh, I used to be a Jehovah's Witness," is not saying it correctly. In other words, they didn't understand the religion in the first place. Saying that, right? Moving on from that, I was brought up as a quote unquote Jehovah's Witness from the age of about, let's say, 4 or 5 up to being about 17. So my grandfather brought me into that religion. I studied it religiously. I was very, very into it. And then at nearly 18, I left and became a normal, everyday human being again. So, but yes, shunning does happen, and that's what happened to my granddad. My grandfather was actually seen going into a betting office sometime in the 1980s, I believe. And he was seen walking into a betting office. He wasn't seen placing a bet. He was just seen going into a betting office by one of his fellow witnesses. They reported him to one of the elders.
Yeah.
They held a council meeting who decided that, you know what, we're going to shun you for a year. So what happened was nobody from the congregation, nobody was allowed to speak to him. So he would turn up to the meetings, he'd turn up to the Bible studies, and he'd also turn up to the congregational meetings and even the big conventions. And nobody would speak to him, nobody'd say a word to him. They would turn the other cheek, literally look away, like he wasn't even there for a full year. And then after the year ran out, the last year ran out, everyone's like, "Oh, you're right, Hugh. How's it going?" Shaking your hand like just nothing had happened.
I see. I wasn't aware of that. I was only thinking of the right. You've left, or you're being thrown out, whichever, and you're disconnected or shunned. I had no idea it would sort of, or could be more of a sort of live process where it was in effect a punishment for a. I had no idea. I would think if that was me, I'd be thinking, well, hold on, all these people are just, cutting me dead. I would think that would chase me away from something. If we were in that religious group, Ranty, and you strayed, surely what I should be trying to do is try and get you back, rather than shunning you. That sounds. I'm surprised. That's a new one on me.
It's a different way of doing it. They view it as like, rather than treating you with a carrot, they'll give you the stick. So they give you the stick, and it's like, if you can put up with still turning up to these congregational meetings for an entire year, have nobody speak to you, and everybody turning the back on you. If you can do that for an entire year, you have served your penance.
Yes, I actually understand. I mean, obviously I don't agree, but with that it's a good idea. But I understand. Mr. Some Old Dude has super chatted $5 again, saying, Mr. Jehovah, I seen the whole thing. I don't know if that's some in Jehovah's joke, is it? But that then says some group calls it Disfellowship, by the way. Yeah, another name for it. Yeah.
Yeah, Disfellowship would be different. It would be, that would be that's worse than a shun.
Oh, is it? Well, what's a Disfellowship? Is that throwing them out for good then?
Yeah, it's removing you from the congregation. So
I see.
That's different to shunning. Shunning, you can still walk into the building, you can still listen, you can still sit down on a chair and participate in some form. You can still be there listening. But Disfellowship is, that's worse.
I see. Because of course, with Scientologists, they go quite a step further, and when someone has left, as well as obviously families possibly being broken up, they then actively target them if the person is critical of the church. As I said, I used to. Well, I found the whole thing fascinating. I used to do quite a lot of reading up on it. And if anyone's interested, have a Google for Operation Clambake, Clambake. Very interesting stuff. But I saw videos because obviously I was researching it all. You can turn up outside of the Scientology Celebrity Centre or whatever with a camera, point a camera just to be filming it, and within a minute you'll get some people coming round and what are you doing, and trying to get in the way and stop you filming, and then accusing you of crimes. What are your crimes? Are you a paedophile? He looks like a paedophile to me. Absolutely dreadful. And they'll do that, and they'll swamp people with legal challenges just to try and drown them under it.
That's awful.
Yeah. Yeah, and just before I'll let you carry on then, Some Old Dude, super chat again. Thank you, Some Old Dude, you're really kind. $5 US. Jehovah's Witness, get it. Jehovah's Witness, let me scroll back. Mr. Jehovah, I've seen the whole thing. Aha, I see, yes. Sorry, I'm a bit slow tonight. Yeah, go on, Ranty.
So with the, I just also want to say with the shunning stuff, because somebody mentioned that, I think it might have been Mandevil, said, that it was difficult for the partners too. So my grandfather wasn't married to one of Jehovah's Witnesses. So, they, so his relationship was like with a normie. But had he been married to one of Jehovah's Witnesses, then she would have been obligated to shun him for the entire year.
And if she didn't, would she be shunned as well?
Yes. She wasn't allowed, it was all a matter of faith, so she would have to, for that entire year, ignore her husband completely.
Is there any biblical basis for this? However accurate it is, but is there any biblical basis behind that sort of policy?
Well, it's been a very long time since I've
sure. No, I understand.
been in that community, so I can't really answer. It was some 28 years ago, 29 years ago, something since I was last, in that community. But I don't recall it. I mean, I must have read the Bible 4 or 5 times, maybe, from start to finish throughout my entire childhood. But I don't recall anything like that. I mean, oftentimes, most of it was pretty boring, but all of it was boring.
Well, Brain is still. I'm going to jump in with this one because Brain is still now. Just super chat €5. Thank you. Brain is saying, "Hey, this was nice, but I'm tired. Good night. Nice to see you on the light side, Ranty."
Nice to see you as well, Brainy Steel. I don't know. Multi-tom-tom. Ranty is putting people to sleep. Oh. Well, there's 130 people that disagree with that, right? Multi-tom-tom.
And I see you're staying up late, Tom-Tom, as well. Have you ever sort of had any dealings with our friend here? Don't disclose anything secret that you shouldn't disclose, but
Multi-tom-tom, indeed. Yeah, he's my well, I wouldn't say enemy, but he is definitely on the not liking Ranty side. Even as a flat earther, he didn't like me.
Could I ask you, Ranty, are you a fan of his rap videos?
Oh, I've heard it. No, I actually did go over and listen to it, and well, one of them at least. I don't know if he's done more, and it wasn't very good. No.
I mean, Tom, we've discussed this before on the channel, and I've yet to find anyone who thinks you're going to make it as a rap star, I'm afraid. It's sad, really, isn't it? But never mind. You'll get over it. I'm not sure I'm going to get over it because I've heard 2 or 3 of his raps. Never mind. Never mind.
Oh, can I just say,
Of course.
in January, Simon Dan wants me to step in on his channel and do the Flat Earth Friday.
Wow. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
a big opportunity.
It certainly is.
Yeah. And he's a nice
Yeah, I'm
guy,
looking
isn't he?
forward to that. He is. As a flat earther, God, I looked at him and hated him so badly. God almighty, I wanted to punch his face out. I wanted to rip his eyes out and everything, right? But as soon as you come back to the globe, he's a nice guy. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, this is it. I don't understand it. I mean, I can think of one person called Mr. Oakley, who I shan't name at all, who I think is thoroughly disgusting, absolutely despicable person. There might be others that I perhaps don't think much of or even dislike, but he is thoroughly disgusting. Aside from that, I don't have a problem with flat earthers. I mean, there's 1 or 2 in particular I really get on well with, like Kyle Adams, Flat Earth Institute of Science. There's no reason not to be able to get on and then rip each other's arguments to shreds. But most of them can't do it. I think they find it as a personal attack. Yeah, I know we tease each other or even call each other names. If you do what you and I have been doing, you need a thick skin. The other side's going to attack you, of course. But then you would hope that, behind the scenes, like a pre-debate or something like that, you could be totally civil. There's no reason not to be.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, this was. Let me just say, this was inner feelings that never came out in the real world. Let me just say about how I felt for that. But to be fair, I mean, the way you look at it from a flat earther's perspective is like Simon Dan was. He was very low down on the pecking order originally. There was a lot of content creators out there that had far more subscribers than him. And I believe that he was around about 400 subscribers when he did the Gate video. And
really? As few as that?
Yeah, it was very low. Because it wasn't a week before or 2 weeks before that we were talking about the Ailsa Craig, and I was taking the piss out of him on Nathan Oakley's channel about this Ailsa Craig observation that he tried to debunk. And we were poking fun at him then because he only had 200 subscribers. He was sat in a little chair in the corner in front of his window, and it was very bland. We were ripping him a new one, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, he just blew up.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, we discussed it obviously, behind the scenes as well as. That he must be buying the subscribers. There was no other explanation for his apparent, massive takeoff because, we didn't think that his video stood out in any way, shape, or form from the other debunking videos.
Yeah.
But now, from the outsider's perspective, looking in, if you were a normie watching that video again, watching the Gate video, how he just sarcastically rolled his eyes as the Gate fucking and the music, that music was just spot on too. So it was just absolutely perfect. So obviously no wonder it blew up, no wonder people latched on to that kind of thing. But we didn't really see it in the flat earth community because we're like, yeah, well, why aren't you going after sorry, why isn't YouTube promoting somebody like Red's Rhetoric or something like that, or what's the other guy, Shun Hufford, something like that. Why aren't they promoting those guys that have been on the scene for ages? What's so special about this guy? So of course we, everyone on the planet side didn't like him. He was like the face you wanted to punch. That's how we viewed it, and because we thought a little bit like how Mick West was. He came out of nowhere too. He invented this. Well, didn't invent, but he brought out the standard refraction inside of the Earth curve calculator, which kind of nullified all of our observations. And again, he was public enemy number 1 too. So he was also the face that you wanted to punch in too. So if there was a couple of people you really wanted to get your hands on, it was them two. Yeah. But it was never showed to me publicly. But a lot of people really didn't like him verbally too. I kind of kept it under the radar for the most part, apart from my one video where I actually was watching his live subscribers jump up like 50 every 2 minutes or so.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like, this can't be real. This
yeah.
can't be
I mean,
real.
it just you do need a lot of luck, because any one of us could do a video that is technically good, very entertaining, and so on. But if it's just got that certain something, the thumbnail's just right, the description's just right, the title just has that right catchy word in it, then it can get picked up and then go viral.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. And
I'm
that's what
sure
it was.
Dan would be the first to admit it. He was, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but he was very lucky that that happened, because there may well have been another creator next door to him that's a better creator, at the time,
Yeah.
who just didn't quite hit those points that Dan did on that occasion. Good for him.
And
We're
can
all
I
going
just
for that.
Yeah, and can I just say as well, I mean, I have spoken to him privately about this too, and he has actually voiced the same thing that you just said, that he also accepts that he was incredibly lucky at that time. He was heading up to Scotland at the time with on holiday actually with his partner when, by the time that he drove the 6 hours or so to go from A to B after putting the video out, he had 10,000 views on it. He couldn't believe it, and
Yeah.
his subscribers are going through the roof. And then he said that the one thing that actually hurt him the most of anything and anybody's ever done was me in that video where I actually was calling him out on his subscribers. So,
Ooh.
I did apologize for that because
Oh.
obviously I didn't realize that you had this opportunity to, just sort of blow up. I didn't really understand YouTube in that way back then. I wasn't arsed, to be fair. Didn't want to be a YouTuber. I wasn't interested in being a YouTuber. I was just putting content out. So I wasn't really in with the crowd about how you sort of like push your videos out and how they can be picked up and stuff like. So I wasn't really aware of that. But obviously he got picked up, and I have to say his content has increased dramatically, and also his podcast is super great. If you haven't had a chance to see that, because he gets some great guests on there.
Yeah, well, people should check it out, because Dan does
Yeah.
need the subs.
Yes, yeah, he definitely needs the subs.
And
He's
Dan, if you're
hurting at the minute.
Dan, if you're watching, because I know that you're a fan, if you're watching, Dan, Ranty and I's commission is 10%.
Yes.
Definitely.
No, I'm 10%. He's 5%.
You just made me undercut you.
No, I undercut you.
Oh, right.
I don't know what the hell it was. I know I'm getting paid more anyway. That's a show money. That's a show money.
Yeah, isn't that monthly shield check sweet, eh? Isn't that nice? The first time it drops through the letterbox. What do these flat earthers know, eh? Sad.
Exactly.
Thank you, Amy Hogan. Yeah, 12k tonight. Woo! Yeah,
So I'm hoping that my appearance on Simon Dan will maybe get me a couple more subscribers. I think that would be nice. Maybe I've got to find the right kind of video to put out for his subscribers. I don't know whether they'd actually enjoy the funny side of things, or the
sciencey side.
In the sciencey, the funny, the skits, or whether they would enjoy the backstory with some of the other flirts and stuff like that. I've still got to figure that out yet.
Yeah.
Where what his subscribers are looking for.
And that's going to be one that it's worth doing a lot of figuring out on. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to get a bump from that, definitely. I mean, I did something for Dan because he just posted a tweet out. Does anyone know anything about? It was this stuff about COVID and the swabs, some Czechoslovakian report or whatever. And I just happened to be there at the time. I said, well, I don't, but I'll have a dig around. And I found some stuff out for him and messaged him. He said, well, look, do you want to do a portion of my video explaining that and showing the evidence? So, he managed to persuade me and twist my arm, So, yeah, all right, I'll do that, Dan. And I really put in a lot of effort. And he was pleased with it. I was pleased with it. And that gave me a nice little bump, definitely.
Oh, wow. Excellent. Well, that's that's what you really need, is you want somebody that's in a position that's got far more subscribers than you, a bigger reach that can, that you can reach out to. Speaking of, I don't know if you've heard of Limey Play.
I have, yes.
Of course. And I had a chat with him about a week ago, and he was really disillusioned about, he's putting all this effort into his channel, and he wasn't getting the views or the subscribers that he felt he was deserving of. And I agree, because his content's really good. He debunks really well. But it's really, really difficult to push your way into this community and gain any traction. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I also understood that his name wasn't helping him very well. You know, the Limey Play name didn't really resonate too well with things. So I had a chat with him and I said to him, look, I said, I've seen your videos. I know you get triggered on a lot of stuff. Why don't you embrace that? Why don't you call yourself the Triggered Limey? So he's changed his channel name, he's rebranded, he's done a video today. It's fucking amazing, I have to say. And I actually mirrored it on my channel with a prompt to get him some more subscribers.
Yeah.
And he was on 667 subs just 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
667. Now he's on 759. So he's put on nearly 100 subscribers in 2 hours.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, because it's the percentage increase, isn't it? That you think of that.
Yeah.
And I will just say, Judy Bassett has just posted her free member super chat. Oh, have you posted that, Judy? I'm not sure because it hasn't got a message. It just says sensible supporter, but a member for 10 months, Judy Bassett, who is an immense supporter of mine, not only a member but a patron as well. And so, Judy, I'll say, as I told members recently, down below, I finally managed to get a list of members. So the lists are showing members and patrons, and on the reel at the beginning and at the end, those who are members and patrons get highlighted. So thank you very much, Judy. And actually, Ranty, I've been asked to ask you a question by Colon. He'd like to know how you feel about calling out Seek Truth, Speak Truth, and how he blew up after that happened.
Well, I have mixed feelings about that because I know that his channel blew up, which was great. But sadly, a lot of those people subscribed just to piss me off. They didn't subscribe to watch his video. So what happened was Simon Dan said, you know, Ranty said this. Why don't you go and subscribe to, you know, Seek Truth, Speak Truth? And they did. But nobody watches his content. It's like it hurt him in a way. So I think he got 20,000 subs or something. And now his videos only get 300 or 400 views, which is terrible. So in a way, I feel like that maybe that didn't help him as much as he thought it was going to help originally. On the other side of the coin, I don't kind of begrudge saying it because at the time I genuinely didn't know who he was. Seriously, I had no idea. I'd never even heard of him. Hand on heart, I'd never ever heard of Seek Truth, Speak Truth. And when somebody said, "Oh, have you heard about Seek Truth, changing sides?" I was like, "Who?"
Yeah.
Because I had no idea. And you know, and I've said this to him privately too. So we've had that conversation, and you know, I do feel sorry for the fact that maybe my comment had a detrimental effect long term because he did get a lot of views. He got a great bump on subscribers, but he's obviously hurting now in the algorithm because nobody's really watching his content, which is sad because he's a great content creator.
And he's a nice guy as well. Nice guy.
Yeah, he is. He's amazing, and his history channel is fantastic. Guys, go on.
Well, there's a shout out, everyone. Shout out, everyone, for Seek Truth, Speak Truth from Ranty. So perhaps if one of the mods can drop a link to his channel and also Limey Play's channel, that would be great. And here's a possible collab for you, Ranty. Astronomy Live just super chatted $5 US. I would love to do a collab with Ranty to let him take control of my scope to track the ISS remotely over the internet. Quote, former flat earther films ISS. Quote. Oh, that sounds interesting, doesn't it?
Well, depends where he is. Where is he? Because,
well, you can do it over the internet. You wherever he is, you control his scope over the internet. So,
how about me and Seek Truth, Speak Truth both do it one after the other, and then it would be ex-flat earthers, quote unquote.
Yes, yeah. Well, there you go, and that hopefully will help both. Well, all three of you. But Astronomy Live sounds like Ranty's up for it. Depending if you guys can organise it all, sounds good to me because I know you've offered that to other flat earthers who are flat earthers, and I don't think any of them have agreed, have they? But ex-flat earther films ISS. That sounds interesting, and I can only imagine the questions who ask you. How do you feel about that? Now you've actually done that, you can see it with your own eyes, and you have made it happen. That'd be interesting.
I would definitely be up for that.
Wow. A match made in heaven, or the heavens, or the firmament, depending on how you look at it. No,
Well, the thing,
that sounds really good.
yeah, I mean, I would always look up at the heavens anyway. Look up at the stars, look up at the moon and things like that as a kid, and wonder, when will we be going there? And then flat Earth removed that from me.
Yeah,
Kind of removed that idea that you could just get a plastic bottle, make it into a rocket, and shoot off up into the stars. Because that's what I used to have on my windowsill. I used to get the 2 liter bottles of pop, and I used to have them there ready to go flying off into space. And I had my NASA wallpaper on the wall
yeah,
with the lunar landers and everything. Was all going around. So I loved all that. Button Moon, Mr. Ben when he went into space. So I loved all that. Space 1999. I was totally into all that. And then Flat Earth removed all that from me. And now that I've got it back, I'm looking forward to that and the opportunity to see the ISS in real time. Yes, I'm up.
sounds good. And Astronomy Live just posted, and I've DM'd Ranty Astronomy Live with his email address for you to hit him up and see if you can get it arranged. Cool. I will look forward to that. Definitely, definitely stuff. It sounds really good stuff. Have we got STST? Have we got STST in the chat? I think. I've seen a couple of people mention Seek Truth, Speak Truth, but I can't see his name making comments. His ears are obviously burning.
He was in the chat. Definitely was there. I saw him.
Oh, nice one.
And he actually said that it did hurt his channel too. So.
Oh, okay.
I feel bad about that.
Well, we are where we are. We are where we are, aren't we?
Yeah. I hope his History channel really takes off.
Yeah, someone else was saying how good it was.
It's amazing. It's really good. And he's got he did a GoFundMe recently too for a new PC so that he could do all the editing and stuff like that. And he also got the money for the software too. So
yeah,
I think he's going to be building that sometime soon because it was recent when he did the GoFundMe. So that's going to help his channel too. So when he's doing the editing and stuff, he can keep creating content one after the other.
Oh, Jose JG's in there as well. Hello. Hello, Jose JG. Good evening to you.
Yeah.
There's STST. No, it is what it is, Ranty. Still love you. Well, there you go. Hey, love is breaking out all over tonight. Welcome, STST. You've had a couple of shout-outs, so I don't know if you caught them or not, but yeah, a couple of shout-outs there. Nice one.
It's not February yet, though.
Why? What's
February the 14th.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Or is it the 12th? I don't know.
No, it's the 14th.
Whatever it is.
14th. Oh, well, look, Ranty, I've got a bunch of people in my waiting room. Okay. Should I bring a couple in to have a chat? Have you ever come across or met or chat to Mr. 42, for instance? He's another...
Never heard of him. Never ever heard of him. Who is that guy?
I don't know, but watch your wallet. He steals stuff. So let's bring him in. Here's Mr. 42, and I'm also going to bring in some old dude. Hello, some old dude. Hello, Mr. 42.
Yeah, got it.
That's some old dude. Good evening to you.
Sorry. Let me...
What are you up to, 42?
Absolutely nothing and just enjoying the stream.
It's good. It's been great, hasn't it? I've really enjoyed chatting with you, Ranty, about all this. It feels really natural. And we talked about all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, we have. And we're not kind of getting to that point where we're struggling to find the next sentence.
Yes.
I hate that.
Yeah, that can be hard, can't it? You start to try up, and then someone makes a comment, you think, oh, thank goodness for that. I can talk about that. Oh, dear. Yeah, 42, hello to you.
Hello, good evening.
And thank you for those images you sent me today. I'm using one of them, at least.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's what I sent them for.
You did.
You know I have a collection, so why not share them?
That sounds really bad. What collection of images are you talking about? What kind of
images? Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking this too. And you use them as well? I mean,
just be careful with making them public.
I think we better clear this up. We're talking about Hitchhiker's Guide type images, right? Yes. People, before that gets clipped into some sort of meme cherry-pick misquote.
But that will happen anyway.
Well, that's true. That's true. And some old dude, hello to you. Thank you so much for the super chats you keep giving. I really appreciate it.
I think he is server muted for issues he had before. I'm not sure if that is solved. So, but you have to unmute him.
No, he's not muted. Let me server mute him and then unmute him. And I thought, hello, some old dude.
Sorry. Yeah.
I'm sure he said something when he first came in. Never mind. Let's get another one in to join us then. Let's get in the next one on the list, which is Rory 12.
No problem. I like saying things back after something gets said.
So you're alive and working then, some old dude.
Hello.
We can hear you. Can you not hear us?
Oh well. Bye.
I'm not sure. I've got a problem there. What I'll do, some old dude, is I'll pop you back into the live waiting room and see if you can get things sorted with Colon, all right? Because he's a bit of a whiz on the old sound and audio front. But thank you for those super chats.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yes. You're just about to drag you out. Yeah, is it all good?
I seem to be talking. I don't understand.
Well, look, what I'll do is I'll just pop you back into the live waiting room and Colon will give you a hand, see if we can get it straightened out, all right? Yeah, I think we'll need to do that and hopefully we can get straightened out. And
I don't think he can hear us.
No, I'm not sure either. And actually, I don't know what's going on. I can't... it wouldn't let me move. It wouldn't let me move him either. So let's get the next one on the list.
You've got to move it.
Yeah, Rory 1230. Hello to you.
Hello.
Hello. Is it your first time on the channel? I can't remember.
I think this is my second time.
Because I sort of recognise the name, but I don't recall the conversations. Well, you're in here with myself, Mr. 42, and Ranty, the famous Ranty ex-Flat Earther.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So,
Hello.
Have you seen Ranty stuff or Mr. 42 stuff?
I've seen a lot of Ranty stuff, yes. I think I've watched maybe all but 3 or 4 videos. Unfortunately, I haven't really checked out your channel, 42, but I definitely meant to, and I will.
That is something nice in your future, then.
Very well said.
Yeah, that's clever. But Rory, if you go to his channel, when you leave, check your pockets, make sure nothing's been stolen, all right? He does tend to do that.
Only digital stuff.
Yeah.
Now, can I ask though, when you said that you'd watched my content all but 4 or 5 of the videos, was that you were watching Ranty or Flirspective?
Flirspective.
Okay, cool.
I think I was one of the day 1 subscribers when I happened to see your channel by chance.
Well, that's awesome.
Wow.
By chance.
By chance, no less.
I like that. What sort of content do you like then? Do you like the funny stuff or?
I've loved pretty much every video I've seen of yours. The funny stuff is amazing. I love the background story that you give about yourself. I like seeing all the, I guess, the insight, because, you don't often get to talk to people who've swapped sides. And I do love your debunks, too, because they are honestly, all the debunks are always great.
Well, thank you very much. I feel like I'm doing a good job then. Thank you.
Well, your subs aren't going down, Ranty, so you must be doing something right.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, that's always a positive, right?
Definitely.
When it starts going down, it's time to hang the boots up.
But it's quite interesting. I think earlier on you said something about your subs were going up and then they sort of plateaued for a while. It does that to all of us. And then they crawl upwards slowly. Then you get a little rush on, or you have something like a guest video or a collab with someone that helps give you a boost. Even if they've got the same sort of number of subs, they could be a different set of subs. So you're going to get a boost. And that's always welcome, isn't it? Because I was talking to Mrs. S. I said the other day, just imagine if YouTube for a day on their front page says, go check out Mr. Sensible. Okay, so everyone saw that. Now, obviously, millions of people would see it, an awful lot of them would think, well, I'm not interested in that, and that's fine. But imagine how many people would actually think, do you know what, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And I'll subscribe and maybe become a member or page, whatever. But as it is, it's getting your face in front of these people. That's what's hard.
Yes.
It is. And, I mean, there's plenty of great content creators out there. And I know that Mr. 42 here had a bit of a competition going with Limey Play, and I was orchestrating that behind the scenes.
Yes.
Those two guys know that I was pushing those to try and reach 1,000 subs first, and Mr. 42 won that by a long way. But can I just say that it might not be for very long. He might have that tenuous hold over him currently, but his subscriber count has jumped up over 100 in the past 2 hours.
Wow.
I've been here in the listening, Renty, and I've seen it happen. And I talked to Limey as well.
Well, I've got the similar sort of thing with MC Toon. We're basically running the same sort of track upwards, and then I overtake him, and he overtakes me, and I overtake him again. He's been in the lead for a little while, and it's fun, and it's also an incentive. Do you know what I mean? If he's doing well, I want to do better to get myself back ahead of him. And we got some old dude back. Are you sorted now, my friend?
I hope so. Can you tell now?
I can hear you now. Were you not able to hear us before?
Well, I was hearing my computer's messed up a little bit. I'm hearing you on the main speaker, but then I was hearing the stream on my headphones.
Oh, I see.
Confused.
So all a bit confusing then.
Yeah.
Well,
it was like, we traveled back in time and having a different conversation.
Well, like I said, which you probably didn't hear, or you heard twice at different times, I want to say thank you to for all the super chats you've given me. I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you.
I like carrying on the conversation a little bit. Sometimes you can't get super chat only gives you so many characters.
Yeah.
So
well, I'll be honest. It depends. It depends how big a super chat you make.
I didn't know that. I wasn't paying attention to that. But a lot of times I want to say something and it just takes more characters than it has. Or
you have to put more money in for that.
Like you guys didn't get my Mr. Jehovah, I saw the whole thing joke.
Yes.
Yeah, if you'd have put $10 in, you'd have been able to say it all in the one. YouTube have you over like that. They make you pay for characters.
Yeah, well, characters are very, very expensive.
I know, well, digital currency. Yeah.
Oh, Next Pro says, but we can understand MC Toon. What's that supposed to mean, Next Pro? Look, you were my 12,000th subscriber, but I've got 12,001 now, so I could kick you out and still be on 12k.
And can I also be really offended with Multi Tom who says that, Ranty, I hope you are happy with your 30 pieces of silver. I am offended by that, my friend. It was 40 pieces of silver.
Yeah. He's an expensive bloke. We had to club together to buy Ranty, you know.
Yes, exactly. I'm not a 30 pieces of silver dude. I'm a 40 guy.
Well, Multi Tom, you moaned about a super chat that I gave a super chat to Mitchell from Australia, and you moaned about how much I super chatted, didn't you? Yeah. So come on, put your money where your mouth is. I super chatted the enemy. How about you super chat me, Tom? Bet you don't. You can do it on the lowest level. Do it on £2 and you can actually say something. I'll have to read it out. That'll be interesting. Nimrod super chatted 20 Swedish krona. Buy some sex cheese. Thank you, Nimrod. Thank you very much. It's good to see you, and I hope your cat's okay. Mr. Arnold's cleared off again. I don't know what he's up to. Never mind. Where were we? Yeah, MC Toon. Have you had any dealings with him, Ranty? He's such an incredibly nice guy. I mean, he appears nice on his videos and streams, but if you've ever spoken to him in person, he's even nicer. Incredibly nice guy.
I spoke to him. We had a conversation offline about 6 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah. And
we were talking about all kinds of stuff. We were talking about Taekwondo. He teaches it, so we had an interest in that, and we were talking about some of the characters on Flat Earth and how he goes about getting these opponents of his that he wrecks on those streams that he does. He is, in my opinion, at least, the best debater And I have to say that also that Fight the Flat Earth he's good, but I do feel that McToon, he owns them, but he leads them down those traps
MC Toon.
every single time, and he lets them walk into it, and they own themselves, and then he just pounces with the evidence. It's great to watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you said, for instance, you think he's better than Fight. I mean, I think it's a subjective thing, and I mean, I've had some people, for instance, say, "Well, I don't watch Fight because of the how aggressive he can be." Everyone's different,
Yeah.
And I think there's a place for everyone, and I love both those channels, and they're quite different,
Yeah, and the thing is, I would say that with the Triggered Limey, the Triggered Limey does the same. If you watch the video that I put out today on my channel, hint hint, go and watch it, and then subscribe to Triggered Limey. But he does the same kind of debunking that Simon Dan does, but in a more snarky, disparaging, fuck you kind of. Sorry, excuse my language. Like with the odd bit of effing and jeffing towards the person. And it's so funny though. It's on point. He's not doing it like just ridiculously all the time being over the top. He's doing it at the right moment, comedy timing every single time. Brilliant stuff. And I tell you what, there's a market for Simon Dan and his kind of debunking videos. There's definitely a market for the Triggered Limey because it's the same kind of debunk, but it's in just a different format.
Yeah.
It's definitely the same. It's like Fight and MC2. It's like those two. Both great at what they do, but
different.
Just different ways of presenting it to the audience. So
I've just had a super chat from Adam Lord for £5 saying, this is addressed to me, saying, "Are you debating again anytime soon? T-Jump used to be my number one for debating flirfs. You easily took that spot after your last one with Stirrup, though." Adam, first of all, thank you for the super chat. Secondly, thank you very much. I really appreciate those kind words. I really do. I enjoyed that with Stirrup, and I enjoy doing debates. Problem is, I don't find that many people to debate. So I would ask people, if you're around on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and you come across a flat earther, see, just ask them, invite them, say that Mr. Sensible, is open for debates. I mean, in a debate, I mean, I'm not someone who'd start effing and jeffing. I think that's how you put it, effing and jeffing at people. I like teasing, some gentle humour. I do like to lead them up the garden path and give them enough rope to try and hang themselves, similar to MC Toon. I mean, that is something I like. But I'm open to 2 and 4 debates, and I'd like to do more of them. But thank you again, Adam. That's really kind of you. It means a lot.
Well, there's plenty of roadkill that you can get from Fight. I mean, after he's finished with them, you could scrape them off the road, bring them back to your channel. Have round 2 with them.
Well, I don't mind. I mean, Stirrup was some. I think he's dealt with a couple of people before, and Katz has debated him after his Stirrup's debate with me. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing that. And I mean, what do you expect, him to have one debate and then that's it? Yeah.
I actually like that. Returning flirfs that come to the debate should be named roadkill.
Well, at least they got the balls to come back again. I mean, Fight's had that problem with a couple lately where they've run away, and there's concerns over whichever one he's got tonight, whether he'll turn up.
It's the same. Well, to be fair, his reputation probably precedes him.
Yeah.
So that's the trouble you run into. I mean, maybe if he created a different account to lure him in, but I mean, that would be a bit.
I mean, they're going to know who it is when they get there, and I suppose that would be grounds to say there's been some dishonesty there. But to be fair,
especially when you start hearing the music, "Fight the Flat Earth, fight the Flat Earth." Oh my God, what am I doing here?
But the thing is, and it's absolutely true, he does treat them how they treat him. He'll be straightforward and upfront. But if they start mucking around with him or start getting obnoxious, he'll take no prisoners and he'll give exactly that back again and more. But I've seen him with someone who's not being funny, not too bright, getting everything wrong, totally not understanding, and he's been as patient as anything and really explained everything nicely, and then agreed to disagree with a guy when he didn't change his mind at the end. You know, and that's cool.
That makes me feel so hurt, because were you talking about me then? Because I had that same kind of debate with him.
No.
we had this conversation, and it was like, you know, it was kind of like we agreed to disagree and nobody argued. And
No,
you know,
no.
I have this feeling you're talking about me.
No, I honestly wasn't. Just in general, you know, I've seen him on several occasions debating people who obviously come from the other side, totally think he has got everything wrong, but they're open and they're asking questions. He gives some evidence, and they'll ask some questions about it, maybe disagree or whatever, but they're not just going, la, 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 I'm not listening, you're an idiot, NASA, you're controlled, it's all number 32, or whatever the hell it is, you know? So they've had a decent debate with him. He'll give that back, and he really does. They try and dump stuff at him, they'll find themselves torched, you know?
Yeah.
Which also can be fun.
I actually like the fact that he's trying to get me to say that now that I've come back to the globe, that in our debate he actually won it now. So he wants me to accept that because I beat him in the debate, right? That now he wants me to accept that now actually he won rather than I won.
I'm going to start a fight between you.
Back to the globe.
I'll tell you what.
He was absolutely. Well, the thing was, and I'll be honest, he didn't really have much. I think what he was doing, he was using me as a learning curve to understand the best arguments for optics on the globe, on the flat Earth. So I was coming in, I was doing the presentation, I was showing him what I had, what I was, you know, how I would also say that, you know, if you accept this on the globe, which I do for your refraction, you know, then you might also accept that, you know, there's arguments for shoaling, there's arguments for swell, there's arguments for inferior mirage, and all this kind of thing that you were talking about. So I had all of these things ready to go, and he was just kind of listening. He was just sort of like observing, listening, probably taking notes, and then we sort of like basically sort of like kind of shook hands, you know, virtual shake hands, yeah. See you later, you know, there was no real debate sort of thing. It was just like he allowed me to come on his show and present what we had, and we just talked like normal people.
How long ago was this, Renty? I'm not sure if I saw that one or not.
This would have been about 18, 20 months ago, something like that.
So I could well have done. Seen so many.
Yeah. but he turned around and he's trying to say to me, "Oh, come on, right." So because he's seen me debating as a globe earther now. So I've had a couple of debates as a globe earther against Whitsitt and Brian's logic. It didn't fare well for them. So he's kind of like impressed with my debating skills in that regard. But then he said, well, you know, now that you're back on the globe, you know, would you now change it from you winning to me winning? We had that debate. But I didn't think we had a debate. It was just like, you know, I presented evidence that he couldn't refute. Or, you know, it was very difficult for him to try and refute because I was just being very logical about it, you know. Even though I was fucking wrong, even though I was so fucking clearly wrong, it was great evidence. But it was great evidence ultimately for the globe Earth because it proved refraction, you know, everything that I was showing and all the other things which were logical, you know, but ultimately it still came back to the fact that, you know, refraction is real, guys, you know. You see things, you think you're seeing them, you're not. They aren't really there. They are holograms, even if you think that they're not. There you go.
I've had a few congratulations messages. Blue Marble Science on point you out, and I do apologise. There was someone else I just saw just a minute ago, but and I can't see it now. My apologies, but thank you for people who've been putting in the messages. Yep, 12k subs tonight. I'm over the moon with that. Yeah.
It was me. Yeah. It was me.
You did as well.
To me when you got 12,000 subs.
Oh, Citizen 9, I think it was. Citizen 9. So I wanted to shout that out. And that's where I found it. It wasn't. Yeah, it was Citizen 9. I'm sure. Yeah. Well, I have met Fight the Flat Earth. Really nice guy. Met him and his family. I've also met Creaky Blinder and his wife, well, his family. It's some really nice people, which is great. honestly is.
The thing is, it's and I have to say this, when you're a flat earther, you look at everybody, you see people differently. It's like I can't even describe what I'm trying to say. It's like when you so imagine you saw right. So imagine that somebody said to you, just an individual person, right? You're in a pub and you look over at somebody at a table,
Yep.
and they say to you, "Do you know that guy over there? He was imprisoned for many years for having some inappropriate relations with his children," right? So you'd be like, "Holy fuck," right? So every time you looked at him, right, you would see something of that person. You wouldn't see the person that was laughing and joking and just hanging out with his mates.
Yeah.
Because you'd heard something from somebody and you formed an opinion of that person, and your opinion of it was that. And then, let's say a few months, so you keep seeing this guy. Every time you go out, you see this guy, you see him, and you get that same, what horrible guy, And then, when you actually meet, let's say you met up with a group of people that you hadn't seen for a few years, friends of yours that you really trusted, and they were like, "Oh, this is the best guy ever. Never, he's never hurt a fly, never been in any trouble, never done anything wrong." So all of that time, you were thinking of somebody as being that one person, right? But you never really knew the full truth. You never knew, because you just formed an opinion of that person.
Yeah.
And that's how flat earthers viewed the globe earthers. That's how I viewed you. That's how I viewed
me personally.
Actually, probably not. Probably not as much as I viewed Simon Dan and Conspiracy. But then again, I was actually the first Patreon of Simon Dan of Conspiracy Cats. So what can I say? But yeah, I mean, a lot of the globe earthers out there, they are viewed the same way. They're viewed with that same kind of tarred brush. They're given that thing, and then when the veil's lifted from you, when you're actually presented with the real person, like all of that. For me, at least, anyway, all of that bad thoughts and bad vibes I had from that person just lifted completely, and then I saw the person that was there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is so true. I've had a last super chat from Some Old Dude, $5 US, saying, "I apologise, had to run unexpectedly. Good night to all." Thank you very much, Some Old Dude. I'm glad we got your sound sorted out, even though you had to run. I think you're absolutely right, Ranty. I think there's plenty of flat earthers who I would like to meet. If you sat down, had a pint or whatever your poison is, and chat, you may not agree, but they should at least be able to see that you're just an ordinary guy. You're a decent person who happens to hold a different view from you. Oh, Y Kikamoo Cow, hello Y, not seen you for a little while. Welcome back. Super chat at $5 Australian. More money for Mage 3. Congrats on the 12,000 subs too. Well deserved. Thank you very much, Waikikamoo Cow. Lovely name. Lovely name. Appreciate the chat. I also met Conspiracy Cats. And what I found, the first one I met was Creaky. We'd arranged to meet up at a restaurant. And we walked in, me and Mrs. S. Look, where is he? There he is on the other side of the bar was quite a big bar. That's the bloke off YouTube. It was really weird seeing someone that you see all the time on YouTube, suddenly seeing them in real life, and then when you get closer and they are a real person. They're talking, and it's that same voice you hear on you. It just does not seem real. It's really peculiar. Not a fanboy type of thing, but it's just really weird. I don't know if you've well, I suppose
I've met some of the I've met Conspiracy Cats, obviously.
Yep.
I've met him a few times now, which is pretty cool. I've never met anybody else. Oh, hang on, wait a minute. I've met Miles Davis, right? Who else have I met? I've met somebody else. I can't remember his name currently. But the one person that sticks out in my mind is a flat earther. You might have heard of him, actually. He's called Nathan Oakley, and was at this meetup.
Yeah, I think someone mentioned him.
Well, I was in this room, and there was about, let's say, 150 people in this room, and we were expecting the arrival of this Nathan Oakley fella, and it got to about lunchtime, and suddenly I turned around and I looked at these doors, and in walked this Nathan Oakley fella, and I recognised him from the TV.
Yeah.
And anyway, he waddled over, and I wasn't realising he was waddling until, when he got closer, and then I could actually see the body shape, and he was kind of like, so weird. He's kind of straight up to about the belly button, sort of like flat and normal. And then he's just got this arse that you could have 6 humans in, 6 human arse all around his waist and his arse. It's like the biggest duck arse I've ever seen, and it's like a top, like a bit bulbous, a bit pear shaped, pear shaped.
If anyone's thinking this is all allegedly, of course.
This is all allegedly from me. But it absolutely did happen, and I absolutely did feel that when I looked at him, I thought, "Holy fucking look at that abortion there!" I mean, it's like what the hell's just waddled in there? And because you never seen that part of him, you never saw his lower part, because all you ever see is from the chest up, so you never get to see that part of him. And
thankfully,
to actually see that, it took my breath away, because I didn't expect it, and I don't think anybody else expected it too. I think we all looked at each other like,
did you expect the Spanish Inquisition? Nobody expects a Spanish Inquisition. I've just had a couple super chats. One's with a question for you, Ranty. Adam Lord super chatted £5. Thank you, Adam. Sorry, last question. But Ranty, how has your view of the universe changed since coming back to the globe? Does it come across as more beautiful now? And just before you sort of address that, if you wish, there was another one from Carl Einar Christensen for 50 Danish kroner. Thank you, Carl. Congrats on the 12k. Big thank you for bringing in Ranty. What a great guy he is, and you too. Thank you very much, Carl. Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, that was really awesome.
Yeah, so has your view of the universe changed? Stars and galaxies and...
God, listen, I've been a dreamer my entire life, and it was only a few years ago that I actually started to believe the Earth was flat. So let's just say that if I went, let's go back 7 years and say, is my view the same as that? Yes, it was, and it's an absolutely wonderful place. I had great memories as a child growing up, and having the belief that my grandkids at some point, or my great grandkids, may be the Captain Kirks of the future, and the idea that you can just have all of that technology that's advancing all the time, and you can actually travel to these distant lands and places, and maybe even interact with aliens. I mean, it's just fantastic for me, at least. It's just brought me back to reality, because it's something that I've always missed. I've missed the idea that we can have that interaction with the universe. It's a beautiful place.
Well, I mean, this is also something that happened to come up in conversation at home the other day. There was something on there about SpaceX or whatever, and I'm thinking, do you know what they're talking about? Maybe, or actually, it was it wasn't SpaceX. It was actually the sci-fi TV series with Stargate. We were watching SG-1, me and Mrs. S, and this episode made me think of it. And I said, do you know, that's one thing, because they jumped into the future. One thing I regret is I won't be around in the future when perhaps going to other planets in the system is almost every day, and perhaps finding out about something in other star systems, even if they're sort of exploration by probes, and I'm never going to see that. But then you think of the things that we've got and we can do today, things like having this conversation from different parts of the country, joined in by people all around the world. We can hop on a plane and fly to the other side of the world in a few hours and so on. And then you think of people 100 years ago, and they wouldn't have dreamt of that. Or if they had, they perhaps thinking, if only I could pick up a device and be speaking to my friend, across the city, let alone across the country or across the world. So I suppose we should be thankful for what we have seen, even if we can regret what we perhaps won't see.
It's
Indeed.
Instant interaction with the entire world. Instant interaction. And, I mean, like you say, you could go back 50 years, and it used to be pick up a telephone, and you know those circular phones that you used to have to dial, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
And it would say, and then you'd only be speaking to them on the phone if you could get through. You would never see them like we're seeing each other now. I'm seeing you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't want to see you, mate.
You definitely don't want to see me in this dressing gown. Holy shit!
A dressing gown.
I've got a dressing.
Oh, that's all right.
That's all right. Gown.
But that's all right. But guys, do you know where your towel is? Always know where your towel is. I know where my towel is.
Of course I do.
Yeah, good. And I just proved it to you, 42.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got a pink fluffy towel as well. I've got a pink fluffy dressing gown. What can I say?
Yeah, it helps start conversations, where things could be a little awkward. It's an icebreaker.
Yeah, shills versus shills will be all over that. He'll be like, look at these woolly woofers.
Now, he is exactly the sort of person he is atrocious, isn't he? Absolute vile stuff he spews. Disgusting. Or have you not been at the shit end of that?
Oh, of course I have. Yeah, I've been on a few of his videos. He's trans-investigated me as a woman, apparently. Okay. Right, so the next time, if we ever meet, I'm not even going to say that. Right, never mind. My humour might not be appropriate for this stream. So he has trans-investigated me. Apparently, it's to be a woman, even though I've got 2 kids, which is, that's up to him. And I'm actually a granddad.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm an old guy now.
Yeah.
Definitely getting on in years. And so the lineage continues. So for me, it's always been about the genetic lineage carrying on. So I was, as long as if I had kids and as long as they had kids, I'd be happy. I didn't want it to end with me having kids and them not having kids. They have had kids now, which is great. And I know that the opportunity, at least in a few hundred years, for some distant relation of mine to actually travel the universe may be a possibility. So that's all. It's always been, that to me is more than anything.
A little bit of immortality.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not even for them to even remember me. I wouldn't even be bothered if they had no idea who the hell I was. Right. As long as I knew that, there was let's say, down the line, let's say I pass away in 30 years, if I manage to go that long, I might have great grandkids then. I might have 4 or 5, who knows? And then at least in that moment, I'll know that I have the opportunity of my lineage passing on, and it's more to do with passing on my granddad's lineage more than because I want that to continue. I want it to carry on. I want his DNA to continue down the line through me. So there you go. Absolutely. And I'll be happy with that.
And I'd just like to say, total change of subject, Multi Tom Tom's just declared that he's declared all of my songs are ace. I think what you actually meant to say, Tom, is all of my songs are ace whole. They're not ace, mate. Not ace. But if anyone, let's give you a shout out, Tom, despite you not giving me that super chat. Check out Tom's channel and find one of his rap songs. But make sure you're wearing ear defenders first. Definitely. There you go, Tom. I'm sure you'll get thousands of subs now. Thousands. Well, you can't say I didn't shout him out, If one of the mods would like to give a link to Tom's channel, can't be fairer than that, Tom. Yeah? If one of the mods can post a link to Tom's channel.
I'm not gonna bother.
Okay, well, you're missing something special. Very special.
Yeah, but not good special.
No, not good special.
I'll pass.
Wolfie6020 is in the house. Good evening, or good morning, good afternoon, depends where you are, Wolfie. But good day, mate.
Hello, Wolfie.
Says, congrats on the 12k, Mr. S. Thank you very much, Wolfie. I appreciate it. And I think Multi Tom's a fan, but because he say Wolf. Be careful, Wolfie. I think it's unrequited love. Could be. Sorry, 42. You sent me a message just a minute ago, didn't you?
Yeah, PJCnet is complaining about being shadow banned
By who, PJCnet, if you're around?
on your channel.
Not
he
to
was-
my knowledge. I tell you,
No.
PJCnet, I shall try to remember to have a look, but do feel free to send me an email. The email address should be in the description, or DM me on Discord just to remind me, and I will check to see if you're banned, because I don't like people being banned unless it's for a few very specific reasons, such as hate speech or something like that. Okay, you're allowed to disagree. Hence, multi-tum-tums allowed on it. And Judy Bassett, both member and patron, thank you, Judy, has super chatted €12 for 12k. Thank you, Judy. Really appreciate it. Really do.
Shouldn't that be 12,000 for 12,000?
No, I get what you're saying, but I tell you what, Judy Bassett is so incredibly generous all the time. Really is. She's a patron of yours as well, isn't she, 42?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go. See, I have watched your channel.
A very generous
Once.
one indeed. That's how I can confirm it. And once was that video where you were in, yeah?
Yeah. When I got the copyright thing pop up on my YouTube studio, and I went and checked it out.
Can I just say hi, Judy? Hello, I'm Flirspective. How are you doing?
He's after a patron.
Did you really get a copyright thingy, or did
No,
you
I
get
didn't.
tagged in my description?
No, the copyright things tend to take a while to kick through anyway. But you had sent me a link to the video, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll watch that. I've got nothing better to do. And then suddenly, I was about halfway through, and I thought, wow, this is good, and then realised it was me. No, I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know I was in the video, so it was,
No.
that was fun. It's yet another thing you've stolen from me, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but this was was at least on purpose that I stole it.
This is true. So I don't know if PJCnet is still in there.
I haven't seen him in the chat, but if he's really shadow banned, then he cannot chat anyway. So
Oh, I see.
I don't even know if he's watching the stream. He was
I don't know
telling
if I see him.
this on Discord.
Yeah, I can't see him in the list of participants in chat. Never mind. I tell you what, PJC, in case you're just listening, I'll just put a note on a big whiteboard. PJCnet. So I will have a check to see if you're banned, because, yeah, you're the other side, but I have never seen you do anything that would warrant banning. Now, perhaps, if you are banned, there's reason behind it, but no mod has mentioned to me, okay? We have had an issue with several people, including long-term subscribers of mine, have found themselves banned. So I don't know if YouTube's got an issue, because I've asked anyone who finds that they're in that position to let me know. Now, if, for instance, someone is banned because they needed to be banned, I'll say, look, sorry, you're banned because, and that's fine. I wouldn't hide it. But if it's someone who's been banned in error, either by a mod or by YouTube, I'll rectify it, okay? And some old dude super chatted again. $5 US. AKA Descendant Guarantee. Ranty goes to sperm bank to make a deposit. How often? How often do you do that, Ranty?
Do I have to answer that?
No, you don't. Of course not. And there was another super chat from Nimrod for 20 Swedish krona. Multi-Tum-Tum told me to give you money. Do you know what, that Multi-Tum-Tum guy is not bad after all. Thank you for that, Nimrod. But Multi-Tum-Tum, the way it works, I super chatted Mitchell from Australia. You moaned about it, saying I was a cheapskate. How much have you given me, Multi-Tum-Tum? Nothing, have you?
He's giving you views.
Well, he's giving me views, yeah.
And content.
And laughs. And someone for other people to rip into, so I suppose it's a fair deal. Forget the £2 super chat so you can say anything. Forget the quid super chat just so you get noticed. Doesn't matter. We love you anyway, Tom Tom.
What you should try doing,
little asterisk.
You try doing Arwin's method of making money, which is to ban people and then charge them $50 for an unbanning.
You are kidding me.
But if he unbans you, then there's no guarantee that he won't ban you again.
Has he actually said that? And has he actually done it? Has anyone taken him up on that?
Yes. People paid it, yeah.
Oh my goodness! We heard of Mitchell from Australia. Mitchell from Australia's scam, though. Have you, Ranty?
Oh, I think I posted
his appearance fee.
Yeah, I posted that. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yeah.
On my channel.
For those who don't know, Mitchell for Australia will debate me, or he'll debate Ranty, or he'll debate anyone, as long as we pay a small appearance fee. It's not quite Arwen's £50 or $50, is it, Ranty?
No.
Slightly more, slightly.
Slightly.
Yeah. 5,000 Australian dollars. He's having a laugh. Does he really think for a moment that anyone's going to be stupid enough to do that, or do you think it's just a way of him saying, "Well, look, they won't pay me, so I'm not going to do it"? I think it's probably the latter.
Possibly, but I also feel that even if somebody paid him 5,000 Australian, he probably still would renege from going through with it.
But that'd be a contract, wouldn't it? That'd be interesting. I did leave a comment on his last video and said that I'm doing a response video to my latest one, because I baited him a few days ago. I baited him again and he's bitten. So I said I'm going to do a response. Now he's bitten. And I said, I'll be doing it as a live premiere, hopefully this Friday, followed by a live stream after premiere show thingy. And I said, you're welcome to come on. I said, appearing on my show will cost you $5,000. I think your appearance fee is about $5,000 as well. So let's call it quits. There we go.
But it's 5,000. You're missing one important aspect. It's 5,000 plus VAT.
What, coming this way? I don't know if Australians...
No. He wants the VAT on.
He wants VAT on top, does he?
On top, yeah. So it's 5,000 plus VAT. So that would be his get out clause, right?
Well, I didn't chart.
It's value added tax. Value.
Well,
you get
that's true. Yeah.
Here.
Well, I've yet to see any value in anything he said. I will give him one little bit of credit. When I did do that £2 super chat, it was right towards the end of his stream, and he didn't read it out, and I thought he'd ignored me, and so I posted a comment. I just said, "Oi, I super chatted you. You didn't read it out. And you didn't even mention it, you bludger," and then made some other comments. And he said, "Actually, I honestly didn't see that, but I'd already mentioned that you were making those points, and I've accepted that. So if anyone sees that, I've left it. I wouldn't change the comment." I accepted that he just didn't see it. I know that can happen. That's fair enough. I'm not going to moan about that. But,
well, can I just say that, obviously this is a new guy on the scene in the Flat Earth community. He doesn't have the background that I did. I feel like I was more seasoned. I feel like I've been in the community for longer. I'm probably more recognised than him. So let me put a counter offer out there and say that for just 10% of his 5,000 Australian fee, I will do the same for just 10%. So for 500 Australian dollars, you'll get me for an hour, a more seasoned campaigner with a ranty name that goes with it. I mean, what a bargain that is, right? So, and I won't even charge VAT.
So
knock the VAT off.
If I paid that 500, then ranty, would you argue the Flat Earth side in a debate?
Indeed, I would.
I thought you might.
Indeed, I would.
Well, Heat Shields just said regarding appearance fees, Sleepy has said that's cheap. Oakley charges 12 grand, and I charge 5. Numbers might be off a bit. Is that right? Is Oakley and Sleepy making charges as well? Do they think this is the get out of jail free? No one's debated me at one because no one will pay me a shitload of money. Well, talking about that sort of thing, big shout out to Level Earth Observer. Because Level Earth Observer, it's now been quite some time. I don't know what's up with my email. I'm still waiting for that email from you so that we can arrange our debate. Because the donated or the pledged funds for a registered charity of your choice, Level Earth Observer, is £3,100. Now that's real money. Never mind Mitchell's upside down fake claiming for money. That's £3,100 that has been pledged. I mean, I personally pledged 100, and then people have very kindly topped it up. Some people have topped it up massively. So have that debate with me, Level F Observer. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. So you don't. There's no argument about me saying, "Well, you lost, you don't get it." No, you just appear. We have a debate, and myself will pay. I myself will pay my 100. Pretty much straight away, and I'll put a shout out and a video out to say you've done it, and ask those who had made pledges to pay their pledges to charity of your choice. We're waiting. We don't want no more crickets.
Really well done.
Talking about debates and emails. Did Gary send an email to you yet, Mr. Sensible?
Not received it. No. No.
Has Leo put a video out about the the flat Earth's best ever proof? Is he? The sextant. Has he done a video about that?
I don't think he has. No.
I mean, even though he is incredibly stupid, he's not that stupid, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, he's not gone that far down the fucking rabbit hole, has he yet?
No, he is more going up. He likes talking about airplanes and space shuttles and stuff.
And also, finding an image on Google of a sextant dangling from a crane is quite difficult. Oh man, cranes. He's quite precious. He really doesn't know what he's talking about, does he?
No.
Ranty, I'm going to ask you something, Ranty, but I specifically do not want you to name anyone, okay? But when you were a flat earther and arguing your corner, were there any flat earthers you thought, oh my God, did he really just say that?
Specifically, not naming anybody.
Yeah, not naming, no.
Yeah, not naming any sleepy body. No. No, I definitely wouldn't name any Oakley sleepy person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're quite free to name them if you wish, but I wasn't trying to get you to name them.
Okay, well, I'll just name them all.
Oh, okay.
Right, let's go. let's just get into it. Well, the reason that Sleepy won his DF OTY award and had essentially been stopped from winning by a boycott for the previous few years was because they knew there would be more stupid on the way. He has a whole bunch of stuff that he's screwed up. We've got Oakley that's now turned the flat Earth debates into the church of I misrepresent science in every way, shape, and form and get everything wrong.
And also turn half the streams to members only chat.
That too, yes. So you can't even comment now, unless you want to be publicly subscribed to him and make a comment. It's like
I can't go that far.
No, it's awful, isn't it? It's awful. So let them have their echo chamber. We've got Quantum Eraser.
Oh man, yeah. Bob and Alice. Oh my God. I mean, come on. I mean, all this stuff about misrepresenting quotes. Cherry-pick quotes from papers saying gravity is not a force or whatever, that's bad and it's dishonest and so on. But I couldn't believe that not only had he come up with that as an idea, he put it out on a video, he didn't delete it when it was pointed out how bloody stupid it was, and he's doubled down on it since. Absolutely incredible. And April Van Ryn super chat is six Canadian dollars, $6.66. Ooh. Saying for if he does it. I presume that's Leo. Well, thank you very much for that, April. So there you go, Leo. Well, I'll have to top up my £100 by another $6.66.
Ooh.
If you ever wanted an indication of how sleazy Sleeping Warrior is, you only need to look at how he's conditioned Rachie to do exactly what he wants her to do.
Yeah.
So he actually got her on screen to do squats in front of the camera and dropping the density tower to make it appear that she was dropping the density tower, when I guarantee that he will have just been wanting her to do squats in front of the camera for him.
Yeah.
For him. And then she's released the video. But for him, it would have just been, how can I make her do this?
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, honestly.
because nobody else in the right
it's not
mind
very
would
good,
do
is
that.
it, Rory?
Would you do that? Would you just go and put yourself in front of the camera and do that? I mean, I just don't get it.
No, it's not very good.
Says
No,
the guy made a shower scene.
That's true. I've got conspiracy cats to do it too. I did get conspiracy cats to do it too. So I've got the power, you know, the psychic power to make them do my will.
of course, Sleeping Warrior was the one who came up with the theory that sunrises are bluish and sunsets are reddish due to Doppler shift of the sun. Oh yes, that's dumb. That is really dumb. But of course, I don't know if you're aware, Ranty, but myself and maybe not all, but myself and quite a few creators refuse to do Sleeping Warrior videos. Since that those despicable comments he made to cats in WhatsApp messages or whatever, so he is shunned, disconnected, no less.
Yeah, he's shunned and on the blacklist, and I get that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, all he has to do is apologise to cats, and that's fine. We'll rip into him again.
Yeah, I think I was the person that brought that to the community too, because conspiracy cats, you know, he told me that privately, but then I said to him, this has to go public, and he agreed, and he allowed me to do that. So, you know, that's what first brought it to the public awareness. But yeah, that's awful, you know, because that was a private comment. You know, I mean, how? You know, I just don't get it.
And Jerry Farmer, yes, that is what Sleeping Warrior said, and that is what we're discussing now. It's absolutely despicable.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be bad enough if it was aimed at me or you or 42 or whoever. But cats is a teacher.
Yes. Yeah, that's the worst of it.
Yeah.
Because that stigma can have a massive effect on somebody's career, whether it's true or not. You know, I mean, that can just be put out there, and it can be detrimental to somebody, and there's no need for it, none at all. And did you hear Oakley this week talking about Coriolis force and the Coriolis effect being the same thing?
No, I didn't see that. I've been concentrating on Mitchell from Australia lately.
Oh, you have your hands full then.
Right. Well, he specifically stated that was the same thing, and I was just listening to. I'm thinking, this is retarded.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Oakley is the one who keeps saying about you're not getting 15 degrees per hour drift underneath the gyroscope, willfully ignoring the fact you can nail that gyroscope to the floor, so you wouldn't expect anything to drift underneath it. It's turning with the Earth. But look, guys, I've just realised it's just coming up on 11:15. Been going for 2.25 hours now, so I think I'm going to try and wind it up now. Before I let you sort of have your goodbyes and final self-shilling, I want to say thank you to everybody who's joined in. It's been a great stream, really enjoyed it. 12,000 subs now. Don't forget, if you want to enter a 1-minute debunk, hey, it's open to you too, Mr. 42 and Ranty, and Rory there as well. It's open to everyone, even flat earthers. There's a community post on my community page, no less, that explains all the ins and outs and rules and that 60-second video. So it'd be great to have some more submissions for that. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's super chatted as well. Most kind, always appreciated. And to all my members and patrons. And I'm so pleased that the members are getting recognised now. As I said, you can see them down below because there's so many of you. Every one of you is appreciated, and it really grated that I wasn't able to pull a list out of YouTube before. Tonight's the first time, so that's great. Thank you. So guys, any last words? Any self-shilling?
I will do the self-shilling in the chat right about now. And thanks for having me.
Very welcome, 42. Very welcome. And Rory, do you have a channel to push out?
I do not. I planned on making one soon, though, so I guess once I do that, I can probably put it out there. Yeah. Well, you'd be welcome to come back on payment of 5,000 Australian dollars. I'm not cheap, you know. Please, when you've got your channel,
let us know. And what sort of topic is it? Sort of flat Earth debunking, or is it something else you're thinking of?
Yeah, that was what I was thinking of doing, because I've just been so inspired by everybody else that I watch that I really want to do that, I think.
Okay, cool. We look forward to seeing that. And Waikikamu Cow just asked when my next Mitchell video is out. It's planned and hoped to be Friday. Like the last one, the Mitch Hiker's Guide to the Fallacy, there was actually an awful lot of work over and above one of my normal videos with the intro, which I know was really enjoyed. There'll be another one. Okay, so it's planned to be this Friday. Not sure the time, probably 8-9 o'clock, followed by a live stream. So hope to see you there. Lovely. Right, you make sure you let us know then, Rory, okay?
Definitely, thank you.
Cool. And Ranty, I'm so glad, so glad I finally got you on the channel.
It's good to be here. What can I say? It's nice to have a chat with you, actually. I think I did promote one of your videos recently as well.
Did you? No less. Wow. You get a discount on my appearance fee.
I'm sure I did. Where the hell did it go? I'm sure I posted it. I can't find it now. I'm just having a look. Oh, no. Hey. Oh, there we go. So, Mr. Sensible is trying to out-joke me, huh? It's my lane, move over. Check out his utter destruction of Flatzoid here. So, it was called the Spicy Earth, a hot new theory.
Oh, yes.
Magnetic field by Flatzoid. And I fucking laughed my head off. Well,
I'm glad you enjoyed it. And thank you for pushing the channel. I appreciate that, Ranty. I really do. Excellent.
Well, that's why you got that massive boost. What can I say? I mean, they all came over from my ginormous subscriber base. And, you know, they all headed over to you. I mean, I can't imagine that there's anybody that isn't subscribed to me in this debate right now, or this channel right now, because, of course, everybody's going to be subscribed to Flurfspective.
Who that?
But the thing is, Ranty, I mean, there's always going to be an overlap. If I take a channel roughly the same sort of size as mine, MC Toon, he is definitely going to have subs that I don't have. I have subs he doesn't have. So when he sort of shills me or I shill him, it's going to help either way. It really is.
Absolutely, yeah.
Of course, it's cross-pollination, I would call it.
Yes, yes, that's a good way of putting it. Right, guys, what I'll do is I'll chuck you back into the live waiting room while I wrap up the stream. There's a couple of guys in there and Colon the moderator, and I'll pop in a minute and say hello. So thank you all of you, and appreciate you being on the stream. Okay, cheers. Thank you, Mr. 42.
See you in a bit.
See you.
Yep.
And thank you, Ranty. As I said, really pleased to have you on the stream anytime, my friend.
No worries.
Cheers. Bye. And Rory 1230, thank you to you too.
Of course, thank you.
And we look forward to seeing your channel. But if you want a little taster, why don't you have a go at 1 minute debunk?
Oh, I actually planned on doing that. I just saw your post this morning, and I actually sent a screenshot to my fiance, like, look what I got to do now. Yep,
definitely. We'll look forward to that. As it says there, it's not competition. It's not for anyone to point and laugh at someone's video editing abilities or anything like that. It's a chance for people to do a debunk on something that they hold dear, because it doesn't have to be flat globe Earth. It could be, all sorts of other things, evolution or whatever. But as long as we avoid those things that I said to avoid, we're good to go. So I look forward to seeing it.
It sounds good. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you, Rory. Well, thank you very, very much to all our guests. That really has been an excellent stream. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And 12,000 subs, eh? Woo! Come on, get me on to 15. Appreciate you all. Let's get this ready. Check out the slightly new and expanded version of the outro with the excellent outro music by The Snark with Harriet Hamer. Thank you all very much. Take care. See you soon and stay sensible.
Mr. Sensible, Mr. Sensible, bring me some cheese, and get me only the best if you please. Here are some flowers, let me display them. every subscriber is a faithful fan. Bring your logic and your cheese. Mr. Sensible, help us out, please. Mr. Sensible, Mr. Sensible, I needed proof of gravity, so I jump off the roof, It's hard enough, let me go further. Why was I ever such a dumb flat earther, Mr. Sensible, Mr. Sensible? I'm such a clown, I am the laughing stock of the town. Bring your logic and your cheese, Mr. Sensible, help me out, please. Mr. Sensible, bring me a sphere, to which the waters of the oceans adhere, have explanations that let me be candid. So clear that all the fluffers understand it, Mr. Sensible.